Alright, welcome back to Metal Heroes Review episode 117. We're here reviewing episodes 44 to 46. Yeah, for the remaining 3 videos, I'm just going to do 3 episodes apiece. Simply because, well, there's not a lot left to go for this one, so why not basically do it that way? Instead of having my last video be like 1 episode to talk about. I don't want that at all. No. So, in the case of 44, in this one, Queen Cosmo spreads this weird butterfly. Yeah, spreads this butterfly that puts people to sleep, and it's done with space biotechnology. And apparently the only person who can help him with this is a scientist in NASA. So Jiban asks the computer, has the MPD police computer to summon him to Japan, which of course he does. And he does question the whole thing of like, why are we not riding in a German car? There's a kid who wants autograph. He was not being polite with him. And then he's took by a lawyer, yes, because they want his mind. They want basically his knowledge and have this weird creature. Now, the bioloid for this one, which, let's see if I can find it here. Okay, so this one's called Cyranoid. They call it Adaptoid in the actual episode for some reason. That's according to the sub provided by Distalk Media. And mostly put, basically, this thing just downloads memories, the kid gets involved, and then we have something that happens. It's a very popular trope in fiction. It's mostly in sci-fi. Mind swapping! Though this is my complete accent. Though by the end, basically, everybody's back normal, thanks to, of course, Jiban downloading analyzed data. And, well, everybody's cured, no problem. Next episode basically involves a monster who spreads ink everywhere, who basically dresses up like he's basically one of the Kamen Riders. Yeah. And he wears a suit that's half white, half black with a scarf. And like every time he sees dried squid, he's like, grrr, gotta take them all because they're my peep. Because apparently he doesn't like, he hates humans. Eventually there's a subplot in this one involving a boy who was one of the victims. And he's a student of Kendo. And the teacher tried to cheer him up by spreading ink on his face. Not the same ink on his face, just to cheer him up. And eventually, thanks to feeding the monster, everybody gets perfectly cured, no problem. Yeah, so it seems like for basically these 2 episodes, it just seems like that, and this is quite interesting with this one, it feels as though, like, in the case of 44, that feels like a little bit of a plot-driven episode, but feels mostly like filler. Same thing with episode 45. Not the case of 46. Oh, good gosh, 46. In episode 46, we wrap up several plot threads. I guess the writer has realized, oh crap, our series is almost over. We need to wrap up these plot threads. So, in this particular one, where Queen Cosmo ends her partnership with Dr. Giba, so she plans to have people unleash her conquest of the world. Now, normally these type of wild card type of villains usually last the finale. This is actually the first time I could think of where a villain comes in about halfway through the series doesn't stay until the finale. Now, this didn't happen with the last series, Jiban. You're probably thinking, okay, did it happen with, what was the person for Jiban? Did it have for Spielbein? Yes, this one did have a villain who popped up about halfway through the series. And he's there until like the penultimate episode. He becomes a ghost. Jaspion. That's really how they clearly a wild card character, just more extension of the organization. But you think, what about Gavin? For Gavin, yes, they had a new villain, but it wasn't a wild card. Jiban. Yeah, he was a wild card who just happened to join the organization. But yeah. So like, at least, and of course, basically, while chasing Ryu, yeah, he pops up in this episode. First time I've ever seen him and Naomi since episode 39. It had been only 7 episodes since his previous appearance, and he chased him. And of course, the Queen was like, "Oh, Naomi!" Just by sheer coincidence, she just happened to be there. It's like, oh, it's okay. Of course, she takes her, and like, ooh, maybe I'll use her to kill Jiban. Straps her up on one of the crosses because basically these villains in Sentai, Kamen Rider, and Middle Heroes, they love their cross with chains. So Jiban can't exactly touch her because of the ring, because he knows about it from the previous episode. So then he pretty much shoots basically the ring off first, and is about to go off. Look how Ryu just happens to show up here, and he takes the ring outside and explodes. And of course, Jiban's able to take the last bit of chain off, and Ryu dies. Oh, and also apparently the explosion reignites Naomi's memories. For a girl who's had memory loss since episode I kid you not, since like episode I think it was like since 22 is when they discovered the fact that this plot thread of her having amnesia is going on for quite a while, and now they finally wrap it up. Yes, they finally okay. The ring is gone. She no longer has amnesia, but we still deal with Queen Cosmo. So, thanks by sheer plot convenience, Jiban gets a power up and uses the power to destroy Queen Cosmo. Ending a threat as a villain for pretty much the whole remainder of the series. Excuse me. But at least, basically, Naomi's going to be here. She's not going to miss another episode again for a little while. Given the fact that, well, there's not really a lot left to go for the series at this point in time. If you're really curious, like, how much is left to go for the series at this point, there's like 6 left. Yeah, 6 more. And then we're done with the show. Yep. And of course, once again, first time in episode 18, they're in the hands of Bowlin. Yes. But we'll find out basically, well, let's just say more what's going to happen in the remaining 6 episodes. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the particular video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. And next up, we have a Comic Corner, and then it's right back to Jiban. Okay, next video. Bye.